thus far. I'm Fiona Jeffrey. I'm the founder and chair of the International Community Development Organisation, Just a Drop. And I'm here to talk a little bit about how I got involved in the global water crises. But I think more importantly, it's how you, as part of the travel and tourism community of the future, how you can think of ways where you can have your own impact. Now, in 1986, I was the exhibition director of World Travel Market, a global business-to-business event for the travel and tourism industry, attracting 45,000 people from 189 countries. And I felt very specifically at that time that if we didn't protect the destinations, environments, and communities we took travelers to, we'd destroy both our own business model and the very product that we were seeking to promote. So I launched an initiative called Environmental Awareness Day, aimed at helping educate the industry on how to do things better from a sustainable, responsible tourism perspective. And I was greatly helped by an enthusiastic supporter at the time, and that was none other than the then president of the World Travel and Tourism Council, Jeffrey Littman. So it's incredible that 30 years on, Jeffrey and I are reunited, still championing the same cause. But this time, I hope, with a generation of younger people more receptive and willing to deliver change. So I was then horrified to learn that back in 1998, a child died every 17 seconds from dirty water, and that dirty water was the biggest killer of children under the age of 5. Even today, 29% of the world's population lack access to safely managed drinking facilities. So I knew that this was a cause that really needed a support, but things had to change. You know, water is a global issue, and as tourism is a global industry. So I felt that this was a way to touch the hearts and minds of everyone, wherever they were in the world, as well as putting a focus on an issue that was environmentally sound, but also being impacted by climate change. And at that time, I learned that just £1, $1, €1 could deliver clean water to a child. And so I created the organisation Just a Drop, an international community-led development organisation focused on providing communities with access to safe water, sanitation, and hygiene education.
Hello, everyone.
My thought was,
it's
if I got £1, just £1 from everyone coming to World Travel Market, that would be £45,000, and collectively we could start to make a difference. Of course, in practice, it's never as simple as that. But over the years, we've already supported 1.8 million people across 32 countries in water-stressed environments. And it's not just the access to water, it's how water rebuilds people's lives. Water is the essence of life. It's the springboard to so much more. At Just a Drop, we impact 12 out of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, including no poverty, good health and well-being, gender equality, quality education, and climate action. Over the years, my experience has led me to develop a model that I believe is key to effective delivery when tackling social and environmental justice issues. It's about being able to actually deliver on the aspirations and the aims, not just establish what those aims are. And I call it the transformational triangle. It's an approach I believe to be simple, replicable, and an effective modus operandi across the globe, across the board globally. It relies on people focusing as well on their areas of expertise, but in a way that's joined up. So the actors are governments, the private sector business community, international and national NGOs, commonly referred to as the third sector. All three are required to work together to contribute effectively towards improvements in civil society and for communities to remain at the heart of the process. The 17 goals provide the framework to bring positive change to our world through poverty reduction, social inclusion, environmental protection, and conservation. But to deliver these goals, we need to work in a collaborative and joined up manner. Each point of the triangle is clearly defined. Governments create viable policy frameworks for business and the third sector to operate efficiently and effectively. Businesses provide the engine and investment to actively participate in the change we want to see, to be able to do the right thing, and as a result, for that also to be good for business. And the not-for-profit third sector underpins effective delivery on the ground. Because to be effective on the ground, you have to have the right organisations undertaking the right engagement to ensure that things are sustainable and impactful for the long term. By having a collective vision and demonstrating all three sectors, collaborative, leadership and partnership, we can ensure that civil society communities genuinely really benefit. Just a Drop develops strategic partnerships with businesses and works within local government policies. And we therefore enable businesses to make a tangible and long-lasting social and environmental impact on the welfare of the communities with which we engage. Water is simply the springboard to enabling people to flourish. We say life without water is an endless struggle. With it, almost anything becomes possible. And to try and illustrate an example of what I mean by that, let's take a look at the Kwavoki self-help group that we work with in Kenya. They live in a rural area characterized by biannual rainfall, and that results in very long dry periods throughout the year. Farmers lack infrastructure to store the vital rainfall when it comes, and that contributes to poor water access. In addition, changing climate has resulted in the rains becoming less frequent, and that reduces the availability of water for drinking, household needs, and farming. And that impacts on the farmers' ability to both feed their families and from which to develop an income. In addition, during the dry season, women and children will walk up to 6 to 12 hours a day just going to try and collect water. That not only puts them at risk for attack or being abducted, for the children to miss school, and it prevents women from doing more income generating activities. So we are all about local, environmentally sensitive solutions. And so with the self-help group, we built collectively with our partners this sand dam. Now, a sand dam is a reinforced concrete wall built across a seasonal sandy river. During the rainy season, the rain and sediment is caught behind the wall of the sand dam, and that captures 1 to 3% of the overall flowing water, which then enables it to be extracted through a simple hand pump. There's enough water in the dam to last the community until the following rainy season, when the dam is topped up again. And this prevents the need for women and children to do those excessive walks, and it stops the community becoming ill because they're drinking water that's filtered naturally through the sand, and so it's safe for them to drink. There's also water available for the community to use in hand washing, embedding a culture of hygiene, which is so important in order to prevent the transmission of coronavirus. And most wonderfully, sand dams also help mitigate climate change. The water captured in the sand dam raises the water table in the surrounding area, which improves the soil, creating better conditions for crops and grazing. More trees can be planted, which ensures that more water infiltrates the ground and less soil is washed away, creating a virtuous cycle of soil and water conservation. And this, in turn, creates better food security, sustainable agriculture, and reduces poverty with the excess crops grown being able to be sold at market and generating an income. So let's have a look at Charles here. Now he's been able to now, because of the sand dam, grow vegetables such as kale, onion, tomatoes, spinach. And he told us very recently just how much impact the dam had had on his life. Now this is just one of many solutions Just a Drop applies, which are all sympathetic to the local environmental conditions faced. And using the transformational triangle, the project demonstrates how travel and tourism companies, in partnership with Just a Drop, can help support more sustainable futures and add value to communities across the world, as well as engaging and protecting the environment in which we are operating. So what does the future hold? The pandemic has reinforced the critical nature of water, because in order to protect ourselves, we need to wash our hands. And how do we do that if we don't have a safe water supply? Climate change will affect the availability, quality, and quantity of water for basic human needs. The World Health Organization predicts that by 2040, 1 in 4 children under 18 will be living in areas of extreme high water stress. And water stress is made worse by the increasing demand for water caused by the shift in diet to more water-intensive foods such as meat and dairy. This, of course, can be alleviated by looking at more sustainable farming methods and a more plant-focused diet, something the accommodation and hospitality sectors of tourism can contribute to significantly. My key message today, however, is you can make a major contribution to the future of our planet. I recognised a need, and so I created a water-focused development organisation using World Travel Market as its springboard. So please aim in your working lives to make a difference in your own way. Change the trajectory, consider the issues, collaborate effectively, and work towards rebuilding a better, healthier, and safer future for yourselves and for the generations that will follow your example.